everybody, Tom here for Hidden Beats, and today we're talking with Mr. Preston Cooper. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm just in a hotel somewhere in Charlotte, and I had a radio show last night, so just
Hmm.
catching up on the sleep.
Well, we're here today to talk about your music, and about what you do in the world. But if you had to give a new fan an elevator pitch, what would that be?
Oh man. Well, I'm from a small town in Ohio, and I love playing music. I started playing music in high school, and I moved to Nashville about 2 years ago. Wrote a lot of songs, went in the studio and cut those, and then I signed a record deal. And within like 6 months of being in Nashville, which is kind of crazy, but it's been a fast journey, and I've been on tours with Riley Green, Cameron Marlowe, and uh, yeah, now playing the Grand Ole Opry, played Red Rocks, and it's been amazing. Have an album out now that just came out. It's called Toledo Talking, so y'all can go check that out if you'd like. But
Well, we're gonna link that for sure in the end here.
thanks, man.
Now, you have a show coming up with Cole Goodwin, who I actually got to talk to 2 days ago now.
Yeah,
And I asked him this question. I think it'd be a fun one for you. If you had to give your sound a drink, what would that be? Like, what would your drink be?
that's a really good question. I would say like a nice, uh, smooth whiskey. I'd
Okay,
say like a nice smooth whiskey with maybe a cigar sitting in a like a speakeasy.
there you go. I like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, nothing better than a good smooth whiskey for sure.
Yeah.
Now, I want to take it back a little bit. I'm curious about like your introduction into music and how you got into this field that you're in.
Yeah. Well, to start off, my family's not musical at all, which is crazy. And in high school, I've always wanted to be something like artistic, like in the arts or whatever. And I didn't know if it was an actor or whatever, but I always loved music. And actually, my best friend Eli taught me how to play guitar freshman year of high school. We were in a guitar and recording class. It was more like a study hall, but he was like the only one in there that actually knew how to play. And he's my guitar player now, too. Um, but I loved it so much. And then after that, I started singing. I was in choir, and then I started playing local gigs around town. And so it just increased from there. And then that's when I went to Toledo. I had a random corporate gig in Toledo, and I went to play it. And I was opening up for these songwriters, the Warren Brothers, and
Okay.
they heard me sing, and they're like, "Dude, like you need to get to Nashville like now." And so like 3 weeks later, I drove down, stayed with these dudes I've only met one time, and we wrote songs and recorded. And they're basically how I got in the Nashville scene because I had never planned on moving there before meeting them. And like 9 months later, after I met them, I moved finally. But yeah, I played tons of bar gigs in my hometown for about 6 years, um, hardcore. So yeah,
Mm. Now, I read that you used to be called the singing mailman when you were younger and
yeah.
this. How does it feel going from that to having nods of people saying you draw from Chris Stapleton or Bob Seger, things like that?
Man, it's such an honor, you know. But I did work at the post office, which is kind of crazy. I would sing on my mail route, and that's how I got the name. But
Hmm.
um, it's really cool going from that to playing arenas and stuff with other artists. It's crazy.
I used to work at the post office here once upon a time too.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
Cool.
when I read that, I went, "Oh, that's fun."
Yeah, it's a great job if you need one, I guess.
Yeah, it's something. It's not bad, but
It's something. It's can be difficult at times. So,
Mhm.
but
So I'm curious about your creative process when you're getting into putting together a track. Like, how do you start out? Are you a melodies guy? Do you go for lyrics first?
I'm a melody guy. Really, I am. Actually, Week, my single, that was I wrote that on my mail route as a melody.
Okay.
Just the chorus was the melody that I had, and I recorded it on my phone, and then I brought it to Nashville. But yeah, I'm definitely a melody guy.
Do you have a ritual when you're writing? You have to lock yourself away? Do you have to do something interesting to spark that creativity?
Man, I think, I co-write a lot, and I think it's just getting with my boys, like, you know, like friends, and we just kind of hang out for about an hour. We're not really in the writing process yet, but we're just kind of getting creative and having fun. And then finally we sit down and we just start jamming in a room. And a lot of times it's Brad Warren's workout room. That's where we write a lot. And it's super creative. And we don't know why, but we've written some of the best songs so far in that room.
Nice.
Um, yeah, just kind of a hangout, and then we just start throwing ideas out at each other.
Now, if you had to introduce your music to a new fan for the first time, I know we're looking at the Toledo Talkin' release.
Mhm.
What song is the first one they need to listen to for them to get the idea of who you are?
Weak, 100%.
Yeah.
I really think Weak is my favorite, probably musically anyway, because it's I always thought, my label asked me, "What do you want your first radio single to be?" Which was cool. They even asked me, and I was like, "I think Weak should be."
Hmm.
I think it represents me as an artist the best, vocally and musically and sonically. So
And it's definitely got the most streams and things like that too. So it
for
seems to be
sure,
popping off with people right now.
yeah, yeah, it's really cool to see.
Hmm. Now we're coming up to the show, like we talked about with Cole Goodwin. Nice intimate show.
Hmm.
How did that connection come about? How's that show working out?
Man, well, I think Canada's iHeart Ones to Watch, which is really cool.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm super honored to get that, by the way. And it's crazy in Canada. I've never been to Canada. This has been my first time. So that's
Hmm.
kind of how this show came about, and I think it's an iHeart thing. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's so I'm actually 4 hours away from Toronto, like where you're gonna be playing, and it's gonna
Cool.
be a nice spot. There's gonna be lots of
Yeah.
fun. And when your guys' show came across my desk, I was excited about it because I started listening to both your music recently, actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank
Mhm.
you.
So what can fans expect from a show like this for you? What's your live shows like?
Well, acoustic's a lot different than full band, but I think still like it's very intimate. I love to tell stories that mean a lot to me and just like growing up and how I got in the business. And I love to just rock out with people. So, and
Hmm.
have a good time. That's what it's all about, in my opinion. So, um, just come on out and rock out with me. So we'll tell good stories together.
I mean, that's country music for you. It's all about
Yeah,
stories.
exactly. Yeah.
So how do you approach putting together like an acoustic set versus like a larger stadium style?
So for me personally, like if I'm doing an acoustic set, if it's not very long, I usually never make a set list because like sometimes I decide like I want to do a different song on the spot. I was
Hmm.
just like, you know, on the spot, I just think about what I want to play. So it's very casual with me personally. And sometimes even like when I'm with my band, like at a big show, I'll just be like, "Hey boys, let's play this song instead," and they just transition on the spot. It's really cool. Um, it's kind of crazy. It's not usual for like a country band to do that, but I'm very sporadic with what I want to do. So
It's kind of funny you said that because Cole
yeah,
actually said some similar stuff that he likes to not really put together a set list until the very end.
yeah. I think for acoustic gigs, not having a set list helps it stay creative. And I don't know, it just I always feel out the room and feel out the people, and what they might want to hear and the vibe of the room. So
Hmm. And
I
I think
think
it gives you an opportunity because it's not so heavy in production value. You can just do whatever.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Now I'm curious, what's the most interesting thing you've learned about yourself throughout your music career?
Wow, that's a really good question. Um, I think honestly, finding my brand, finding who I am as an artist. Um, it's kind of that country blues, a little bit of rock in there, and I think nailing down my brand has been the hardest thing actually, but I think it's starting to show. Um, and just honestly, my live aspect on stage, I think that's something I've learned a lot about myself is learning that. So
The blues thing was actually one of the first things I said when I was putting on some of your music to do some research too. I was like, yeah, there's you could feel the blues right away in that.
thank you, man. Yeah, I grew up listening to like BB King and Stevie Ray Vaughan. He's probably one of my favorites. And I
Mhm.
just listen to all blues stuff.
So if you had to pick some people who are out of the box of your regulars, who else influenced your sound?
Oh wow, that's a good question. Bob Seger, uh, I would say Stapleton, but he's kind of in that genre, you know.
Hmm.
Uh, Foo Fighters,
Okay.
um, yeah, Aerosmith, um, kind of that older stuff. John Mayer is a big one for me. I love John Mayer.
Yeah, John, I feel like he's almost underappreciated in a sense because it's just
Yeah,
he's out there doing his thing, but he's one of the best out there.
he is. He's really good. He's actually my first concert I ever went to.
Oh, nice.
It blew my mind for sure. I was like, that's what I want to do. I was in music already and I loved it, but I was like, after seeing that live, I was like, that is what I want to do for a living. So,
Hmm. I think my
yeah.
first concert was Godsmack and Metallica, but it
Oh,
was, it was
wow.
such a random like the night
Yeah,
of. Someone's like, I have an extra ticket, and I was like, all right, I suppose,
that's
and
awesome.
that got me into doing stuff like this and learning more about music, and that it's been pretty
Cool,
fun.
man. Yeah.
All right, a couple fun questions, and I think there's some interesting insights you'll probably have here.
Hmm.
Now we talked to Cole, like I said, and he said he'd like to know what everyone's favorite dipping sauce was, and that's how he judges a man. So, what's your favorite dipping
Oh,
sauce?
wow. Dipping sauce?
Yeah.
Hmm. I like honey mustard. That's good.
Yeah, I love a good honey mustard. He puts barbecue on everything, he said, and
Yep. Yeah, I like barbecue. Um, those are really like the only two that I really enjoy. I don't like ranch anymore.
I
So
actually really dislike ranch too. I don't know why. It's just it's
yeah,
overplayed. So,
yeah, for sure. I'd say honey mustard and barbecue.
hmm what's your ultimate like on the road snack?
Probably goldfish, and I say that not because of the shape. I like the salt. The salt is like my favorite part of it.
Have you
So
tried all like the new flavors that they have?
no, I'm just a regular, just original dude. I
Yeah.
don't go crazy. I
No,
just like the original.
that makes sense because the original is just kind of perfect as it is, and you don't want to ruin that.
Yeah. And it just gives me something to do, you know, when I'm driving or something or riding. It's just like I just eat goldfish.
Hmm. Now, this is a question I ask everyone on my first time interviews, and it's always the one
Okay.
that makes you think the most. What's one thing you think should be asked more in an interview that's not asked enough?
Wow, that's a really good question. I never actually thought of that.
Now, I put this two ways sometimes because sometimes people have a harder time. What's something that either you want to be asked more about yourself or something you might want to see more from an interview, like from someone that you're looking into?
Gosh, that's a really hard question, actually. But
Hmm.
it's very good, though. I'm glad you asked. Man, I think like trying to like relate it to something musical, you know, but I think like some moments in the studio I think are really cool to talk about, and it's not asked enough. I feel like
Okay.
some like things that happen in the studio that are just you know funny or special. You know, when we're recording music, it's always something going on. It's always funny.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, no,
I
that
think
makes sense. I like that.
yeah, stories about the studio. It's a good one.
Now, as someone being fairly fresh into the industry at this point, what would you give advice to someone trying to come up into like your boots? What would you say to them?
Man. I'd say just keep doing what you're doing and don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something.
Hmm.
Uh, I think that's a good one, but um, yeah, just don't quit and continue to make. great music, and stay true to yourself. Don't try to be somebody different. That's my biggest thing is like just be yourself, and
Hmm.
that'll take you a long way. And be honest.
Yeah, because people see authenticity for sure.
Yeah, they do it. You can see right through it. So,
Hmm. Now, if you had to put together your dream lineup, living or dead, who's playing on that set?
man, um, Stevie Ray Vaughan is my definitely a top contender.
So who's headlining the set too? Like if you had to pick top to bottom.
Oh, headlining,
Yeah,
headlining.
I
Okay,
tweaked that a little bit right now just because I'm curious.
okay. Um, man, I would say Stevie Ray Vaughan. I would say he's the headliner. I'm a huge fan.
Hmm.
So I'd say he's headlining. I think it'd be cool to see Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
I love Chris. He's great. Probably
Hmm.
one of the best rock singers out there, in my opinion. And let's see, Chris Stapleton. I love his voice.
Yeah.
Trying to think of like one more person I love. Oh, Youngblood. He's a new guy in the rock world, and I love him. He's
Yeah,
really cool.
I actually got to I was out at his show here in town, I guess
Oh, really?
probably a month ago now. I've got to see him twice and actually did an interview with him once too.
Cool. Yeah, he's. I just found him recently, like a few months ago, and man, I really like his music and just his energy is unmatched. It's so awesome.
Yeah,
So
he's like that new age like Aerosmith
yeah,
feel or like that kind of
it is
he's bringing that vibe back again.
almost like Ozzy a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
So
him and Ozzy had a really good relationship, so that was it's always fun to see that.
for sure.
Now, another quick question then. I asked this one to Cole too because I thought it was fun. Is a hot dog a
Okay.
sandwich?
No,
No, why not?
I I don't know. I just never thought of a hot dog to be a sandwich. I think like a turkey sandwich is a sandwich. It's got bread on top, but I just feel like if I'm ordering a hot dog, it's a hot dog.
Hmm.
It's not a sandwich. Hey, can I get
Now,
a hot dog sandwich?
but to play devil's advocate, like you look at a Subway sandwich, it's the same kind of layout.
That's a really good point. It is. Yep, you're right. Can I get a meatball? Yeah, a meatball. So I don't know.
This is the great debate
Turkey.
question. Everybody, when you ask this, people always have such polarizing thoughts about it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've never went up to a counter and said, "Hey, can I get a hot dog sandwich?" It's always just been a hot dog.
Yeah.
So, but I
No, that
guess
makes
it's in
sense.
between two pieces of bread. So, well, technically one piece if it's connected, but
Hmm. No, it makes you think for sure.
yeah.
Now, is there an interesting fan moment that you've had? Maybe someone's reached out a message that's kind of really stuck to you and made you feel good.
Yeah, actually, I had a fan recently from England, actually, which I thought was really cool. But it's crazy that my music's like reaching that far out in the world. It's wild.
Hmm.
But uh, they were going through a really hard time. A family member actually passed away um, in an accident, and they reached out to me via Instagram and just told me that they found a song on my album called "Headed Home," and they were going through this really hard time, and it let them know that this is not it's life is only temporary. You know, this is
Hmm.
only temporary for us, and I think it really helped them cope with what they were dealing with, and really just gave them hope in life. And that was probably one of the most like touching messages I've ever had. And also another one similar. This kid had cancer, and he wasn't supposed to make it too much longer, and he found that same song, and it really helped him uh, just be happy again and feel good. So
It's crazy to
that's
think that you can just have that happen these days.
yeah, and that's why I do music, man. That those are the reasons why I do this is
Hmm.
to help people. That's I've always wanted to help people, um, and I didn't know how, but I'm I'm so glad that I can with music.
Yeah. So
So
if that was is that the message you want people to take away from your music? Like your fans, you want help them feel something?
definitely, I think. definitely. I think people are it's a hard times, in this world, and I think that my music definitely helps people, which I think is cool. So give hope and help, and uh, also just love to rock out and feel good, on the road. So I
Hmm.
have a couple songs like that. But
Yeah, I mean, I listened through your album there. It was great. So I could feel
thank
the
you,
vibe
man.
from you for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, I'm at the end of the interview here and ask a couple
All
different
right.
questions sometimes. This one I'm thinking might be more interesting. Who's an underrated artist out there that you think needs a little bit more attention?
Wow. I feel like I need to go through my Instagram, find people. There's so many, man. There is so many. Um, I recently found this guy in Texas. Uh, his name's Tice Delk.
I've actually heard the name, yeah.
Really, really great voice. He's soulful. He's true to himself, and he's not trying to be glamorous. He's just a great singer. Never met him, but I just found his song on Instagram, and boy, he is a great singer. So,
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, like I said, I've
yeah,
heard the name, so that's definitely one that should be out there a bit more.
yeah, for sure.
Now, who is on your playlist that's the most out of the box people wouldn't expect you're listening to?
The Foo Fighters,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I listen to them a lot, and probably I'd say the Foo Fighters and U2. I like U2 a lot.
U2 is one
Yeah.
I've never really fully gotten into. I don't know why.
Yeah, I just recently started getting into them, but it's crazy because I'm in the country business, but I don't really listen to a lot of country at all.
But I
You
think
know,
that's the sign of someone who can appreciate more than what's going on out there.
for sure. Heck, I was listening to '90s rap the other day, like Ice Cube and Nate Dogg and stuff. Yeah,
That's
just
my
you
vibe
never know.
is some old school rap like that. But I can go anywhere
Mhm.
from, like I always say, my guilty pleasure song if I want to get myself some energy going on is like super bass Nicki Minaj and just get that feeling
Oh
going.
wow, okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So it's good because I can go anywhere on my playlist. I've got Disney songs on there too that I sing with my kids and stuff
Yeah,
sometimes. So
for sure. It's awesome. I love that.
mhm. Now, final question, most important question. Are you happy?
I'm 100% happy. This
That's
is what I love to do, and I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. So,
that's the
yep.
way to be for sure.
Oh yeah. If you're not happy, and actually Vince Gill told me this. I was writing with him one day, and he asked me, he's like, "Do you love this? Are you happy doing this?" And I said, "Yeah, this is great. This is what I love to do." And he's like, "Well, if you don't love it, and if you're not happy, then you need to ask yourself why you're doing it."
Hmm.
And I'll never forget that. So,
I mean, that's a pretty good name to get that advice from too.
oh, definitely, I'll never forget it.
Yeah,
So, but thank you, man. I appreciate your time.
for sure. And that's pretty much all I've gotten written down here. So, what's the next
All right.
milestones for you?
Say again.
What's the next
Can I?
milestones on your list to hit?
Well, I mean, just traveling the world, I guess. The Opry's coming up, which is definitely a bucket list for me. Actually, in like a week, it's
Yeah.
next weekend. It's nuts to even think about that I get to play there. So that's really cool. But yeah, I think traveling the world, going overseas, will be the next big thing for me. So,
Oh, that sounds like it's gonna be fun for sure.
yep, yep.
Where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the stuff. It's Preston Cooper Music on all the platforms. So I'd love for you to go check out my music. It would really mean a lot.
Awesome. We'll make sure we link that stuff down in the bio for the video. I'm gonna try and actually like edit this right away so it gets out for your show.
Oh, thanks, Tom. I appreciate
Mm.
it.
All right, man. It's been a
So,
pleasure picking your brain and getting to see what makes you tick.
yeah, well, thanks, Tom. I appreciate your time.
And feel free if you have anything else you want to talk about. I'm always here.
All right, sounds good. See you later.
All right, bye now.